The opinions in this podcast are all our own.
But the businesses are real chamber members.
It's a chamber chat.
Coming to you from Wahoo, Nebraska. Chamber Chat with Kate
And Kat.
Welcome to Chamber Chat with Kate.
And Kat. I'm Catherine Nygren, owner of Found and Flora Flower Shop.
And I'm Kate Takos, owner of Kate Takos Photography. This podcast is everything Wahoo Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Kate, we got some new things today.
We sure do.
Yeah.
We're in the home office.
Yeah, the new home office.
The new home office.
Yes.
Yes, of Chamber Chat.
Yes. And those watching or listening, if you haven't been able to guess, we have our guest here, Erin Hauser. She's the curator of the Saunders County Historical Society.
Oh, welcome.
Yes, and thank you so much for letting us be a new home here.
Sure. Yeah. We always like to remind people that we are part of the community. Even though we are the county museum, we are in Wahoo. So, yes.
And you've already had people asking, like,
yes.
hey, what is that?
Exactly. Yes. I've had several people, oh, what's that? What's that? And it's like, well.
Stay tuned.
Explaining
Yay.
kind of what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great. I love it.
Yeah. So do you want to tell us about what the museum does and like what our purpose here is?
Sure. So we were established in 1963, and we originally were at the Hanson House, and then we got enough funds and were granted some property. We're given some property where we are now in the 1970s, and actually in 1976, so we're talking 50 years ago this year.
Wow.
We built our first museum building, and then in 94, we added on a new addition, and then in those intervening years, we've added lots of different buildings. And so we're up to 10 buildings now.
10 buildings.
10 buildings. So, yeah.
That's great. And I think sometimes people don't know, like if you just drive by, especially if you're just going on the highway, you see the building that we're in right now, the brick building, but you don't see everything. You need to get out and like walk around.
Oh, yeah. I hear that comment. Oh, I didn't realize this all was back here.
Yes.
Get that quite a bit. Yeah. So we have sidewalks to most of the buildings. We have signs. We have informational signs for the buildings outside as well. So if you want to wander around when we're not open, or you're walking your dog or that type of thing, you can see what the buildings are. So without being able to go in. So now you can come back.
What are your hours here for the museum?
So during the summer, we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
So, yeah. The hours change a little bit in the winter, but
sure.
But we're in the summertime right now, so.
Yeah.
And you guys got exhibits here of like you've got permanent exhibits and you've got kind of rotating exhibits that people can come see.
Exactly. Yep. We have both. So,
Nice.
yeah, right now we have several new exhibits, and of course our standbys are always there. We change them up every once in a while. Sometimes we'll get a new artifact related to that particular exhibit, and we'll put that in as well. So
Nice.
And how much does it cost to come visit the Saunders County Historical Society?
it's absolutely free. We do appreciate donations, but it's free to come. So,
Nice. So if your kids are out of school or your grandkids are out of school and you
Exactly.
need something to do, you can come down and kind of see some local history. I think there's a lot of cool things here.
Exactly. Yes.
One of my favorites is the Oscars.
Do you hold it?
No,
Oh.
I've never touched them.
Never touched them. Oh.
They're
I figure, especially if you being like the president at one time, I thought you would use your
wasn't-
power.
That wasn't a perk. No, I should have used my power while I was on the board.
They're pretty hard to get out of the case. They're pretty
Oh,
secure.
they're
but
pretty-
I have held them, and they're actually a lot heavier than
Than you think? Yeah. I guess that's probably why when they like, sometimes when you watch them, they're like, can you hold this so that they can like talk and
Mhm.
take out their speech and
Mhm. Or
things
it's like a
that.
two-handed hold.
Yeah.
They're not just like...
Like waving it around. Yeah. So talking about visiting and stuff, what events are coming up this summer that people might want to put on their calendar?
Well, so the next event that we're having is going to be our annual fundraiser, our barbecue. That'll be June 19th from 4:30 to 7. And that's always, good food. You want to come early to make sure you get the food. Pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, brownie, and chips. We're going to do takeout. That was kind of started during COVID. During we did the I think you were president at the time.
I was only on the board
You were
during the
still
time.
on
I
the
don't know if I was
board.
president, but yes, I remember those days of like, okay, how do we do the barbecue without being in person?
Yeah.
But that's worked out great. So we'll have that, and then we'll have picnic tables in the back for people to sit and chat.
Nice.
And, meet their neighbors. So
Yeah.
Nice. And how many years has the barbecue been going on?
It's been our 32nd year.
32nd.
wow.
I was
Two
expecting
years.
something in the 20s.
No, it's been
That's
going on
great.
quite a long time.
32 years. Wow.
Wow.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And what else is happening then so we have the barbecue on the 19th.
Barbecue on the 19th. And then, so every other month, we also do a lunch and listen in the even months. So June being an even month, we'll do one. It's always the fourth Thursday at noon. So you can bring your lunch. You can bring it from home or you can stop at any number of the food places that we have and bring your own lunch.
Sure.
Or not. We have people who don't bring their food at all.
Sure.
And discuss a topic. So the next one will be on World War I in Saunders County.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice. So that's the fourth Thursday
fourth Thursday.
at noon here in the meeting room at the museum.
Yes.
Okay. Kind of in the room we're in.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you come, you'll
can see the
maybe
set.
see the set. Yeah.
And we'll have to ask them if it's okay if people would maybe take a picture, like
Oh,
yes.
yes. Selfie
I
with
think that'd be
your
fun.
yeah, maybe hashtag, chamber chat or
Yeah.
Wahoo chamber or
Yeah.
something like that.
Love to see it.
There you go. Okay. Whatever works.
Yeah.
So those are the most upcoming ones. The two most recent, I guess, not most recent.
The next two events.
That's
The next
the
two
next
events.
event, yes.
Yeah.
Then in July we're gonna try a movie night at the museum, but we're still working on the details and that type of thing. And then getting into August, there'll be another lunch and listen, and then our annual car and tractor show will be in September.
Okay. So if people are listening and they're like, oh, I'm in my car listening, I want to know these events or write them on my calendar when I get home, where can they find the information?
Well, we try to get them to the chamber so they can go out on the chamber. I'm not always great at that. That's on me. But I try to get them to the chamber. We also have it on our Facebook page, so Saunders County Historical Society. Also, we try to get it on our website as well.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I can see if
or you can
someone
always call.
and say like, hey, when was that barbecue happening?
Right. I'm hungry for some barbecue. When
Yeah.
can I put that on my calendar?
Right.
Or if you're a member, you'll get the newsletter a couple months in advance, and that usually has a list of our events as well.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And then to become a member, go to the website?
Yep, website, or you can stop in.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Great.
Nice. So one of the things I always thought was fun when I was on the board was all the accessions that we get, meaning the things that people would donate to the museum. Like you'd always have them laid out on the table of the new things. And I just remember the group was always like, ooh, what's this? And that was kind of like half the fun of the meeting was to see what the new stuff is. So do you want to tell us what's new in quotes at the museum?
So most recently, we have a bat that was used at John F. Kennedy College. We've gotten in some, one of our members and volunteers has been collecting cookbooks from around the county. So we have a lot of new cookbooks.
Okay.
We just got some new pictures in related to Sam Crawford.
Wow.
And then we have some more like family history related items. We have a Bible. We've got a picture of three brothers from like the Cedar Bluffs area that was done in the early 1900s. We also have I call it a stroller. I think some other people might call it something else, but it's from the 1950s.
Okay.
That this woman and her apparently her twin brother also had one.
Oh, really?
So, but this thing almost looks like it was, like it's never been used out of the box. It's just in such good shape.
Wow.
So those are some of the more new things that have new old things that have come into the museum within the past, say, 3 months. So
Nice.
So tell us for the people that don't know, like when somebody donates something to the museum, like what's the process to like add it to the collections?
So it usually comes in. It has to be related to Saunders County, or it has to be unique enough that I'm never going to see it again.
Okay.
But most of the things have some sort of relation to Saunders County. Then it goes through in front of the board for approval. And then there is a whole cataloging process. We have a certain way museums catalog and record things, and so it has to go through all of that. And then we have some of them we have a recent donation case. So if it's small enough to fit in the case, we might put it in there. But we do have some bigger things. There's some things out in the machine shed that are just a little too big for being in here. And then we have our collection storage area where they will be stored based on what they are. So for instance, a plaque goes in a certain area, the stroller will go in a certain area. If it's clothing, it goes in a certain area. It's just so it's a little easier for us to find, so we're not looking all over, okay, what's in this drawer, what's in that drawer. So it's there's a whole system of how things are cataloged, kind of with like flowers. You have the genus and species names and stuff like that.
Sure.
And I wouldn't have a clue if you said something like that. And so if I say documentary artifact, you're probably going to go, okay, what's that?
A documentary artifact? Yeah, I have no clue.
No.
So, but there's a definition and stuff like that. So it's, but we kind of, that's how we have things sort of stored, and that just a little easier for us to find things and make it a little bit make sense to, well, why is that in there and not over here? Because there are a few things that we get that might fall into multiple categories. There's things like that we take because they're advertising. Well, if it's a cup, well, technically that's a food thing.
Okay.
But a cup that has somebody's business on it, I'm taking it because it's because of the business.
Sure.
Advertising. Or way back, you maybe remember your parents or your grandparents or great-grandparents, they would get the premiums from the store.
Oh,
So
the
they would
green
have
stamps.
the stamps, but the stores would also give you, okay, well, if you bought so much groceries, you got a plate that has the store name on it, or it has a calendar on it, like things like that it's technically a plate, but it's advertising. And that's why I've taken it, is because it's advertising. So, we just actually got a couple of plates from Vlasic Brothers in Prague. It's a very nice plate, actually.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, very pretty plate, And a lot of those were in, the salesman would come around, oh, well, we have this, this is new in our catalog. Would you like this? And yeah, we'll send it to you. So that's sometimes why you might see the exact same plate from 3 different stores.
Yes.
And the same is because, well, he's managed to pitch it to those people.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Nice. They just changed the decal with the name on it.
Yeah.
I have a couple of 2 banks that are shaped like Liberty Bells, and they're from 2 different banks.
Oh.
So obviously the same salesperson went to those banks. Well, I have this, so.
And they're like, I like it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Nice. And so you've got a couple new displays then coming up displays or exhibits? What term is proper there?
So an exhibit is an interpretation. It tells a story. A display is there's just an object.
Okay.
So like, say your sign, it's on display. But if it was part of a whole bunch of other signs, that would be an exhibit.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it has to be part of the story. Exhibits tell more of a story. So as for new exhibits and displays, they are used interchangeably a lot.
Oh, okay.
So I have, speaking of World War I, with my next luncheon list, I've got a couple of World War I. We got a Smithsonian Institution poster exhibit. It's called World War I Lessons and Legacies. And it gives little different perspectives of World War I that people may have not realized. And then we also have some World War I propaganda posters that are also up that were, as the Smithsonian exhibit says, they were selling the war. And that's how they sold it to people, to get them, to buy bonds, to, conserve food, not eat as much, and all just to support the war effort. A continuation of an exhibit that I started last year is the framed exhibit, where I've been pulling out all the things that are framed within our collection. And right now we're doing the Weston High School graduation photos and pictures in honor of Weston's 150. So we have over 60 framed graduation photos from the Weston High School.
Wow.
From the public school.
Well, I know that when we came, Teresa and I came to look to be like a spot to come, and we were in the room over just behind the wall. And and I kind of just glanced at one of the photos, and I was like, hey, there's Aunt Peg. And it happened to be, I don't remember what class they were, but they had my aunt and my 2 aunts that were twins, and then there were another set of twins in that same
Really?
class. Like there were like
Wow.
maybe 15 to 20 kids probably
Right,
in
two
that
sets of
class.
twins.
And there were
Not
two,
very many,
probably not
Wow.
even that many, but yeah. And then, there were 2 sets of twins.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all up. Those were donated by the Weston Alumni Association quite a
Mm.
few years ago. So
Okay.
it's not every class. We don't have every class. I think the earliest is 1907, but we do go all the way up to the last class, which I believe was 1973.
Okay.
And there
I
were
was
only
gonna-
3 kids, but only 2 pictures.
Oh.
So one poor student was left out of that one. So I don't know why. So
How do you decide on what exhibits to bring out? As you're kind of changing things around the museum, like how do you decide like what the next exhibit's going to be?
it just kind of depends. Sometimes we'll get a new old artifact, and it's like, oh, you know what? I have something else that kind of works with that,
Mm-hmm.
and so that can kind of play into it. I have a couple of exhibits that we've tried to get some of the things that we don't normally get out, or really wouldn't fit into an exhibit. Because we have a lot of things that just wouldn't make sense in an exhibit. So one of the things I'll be changing out here this summer is I have what's called the ABCs of Saunders County, and we're up to the letter S. So the next one is the letter T. So I'll get things that are related to T. It might be a trowel, or it might be a tie, or it might be something, say, from TUI, just or textiles, or some a business that started with the letter T.
Oh, sure.
Because we have all these things that might not necessarily fit in anywhere, but try to just get them out to show people.
Right,
Just the whole variety of things that we have.
And now a message from one of our chamber champions.
Kat, have you ever thought about how lucky we are to have such a great healthcare option right here in our community?
Oh, absolutely. Saunders Medical Center is such an asset, and they really offer everything from inpatient care to outpatient services and even long-term care.
It really is impressive. And the best part, they use the latest technology but never lose that personal touch. They truly care about their patients.
Plus, the staff, there are neighbors, friends, and family. And it's really comforting knowing the people taking care of us are the people that we trust.
Exactly. Saunders Medical Center is always there when you need them, providing quality care close to home.
For more information, you can go to their website at saundersmedicalcenter.com.
Well, you have a little something to show us today.
Speaking of artifacts.
Speaking of artifacts, and I know you were kind of getting a little rundown of it. But do you want to?
Sure.
We can get it here. We'll show the camera.
So this was donated in 2007, so about 20 years ago, and it's actually a reprint of the blueprints for the Chicago Northwestern Railroad's privy or outhouse. We have so many artifacts, I just couldn't quite figure out pick one.
Right.
So this one, I just happened to be in the vault, and I went, oh, that looks like fun. So
Yeah.
Right.
we picked this one. So it's even got, measurements. Actually has 4 holes, one side for both the men and the women, and it even tells you how deep to dig the hole. But this was on the Chicago Northwestern line. It was actually built by the Fremont, Elkhorn, and Missouri Valley Railroad, which eventually became the Chicago Northwestern. This is the one that ran north-south through the county. And
Okay.
through Wahoo.
Okay.
And the depot is approximately where Family Dollar is today.
Okay.
Oh.
So if you want a
right by
reference
my-
point, that's where it
where it was.
Mhm.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
And the last train came through in 1981. We actually have pictures of the last train that came through, and it was like a ceremonial type of thing. There wasn't any. There were some cars, but it really wasn't, a functioning train by that point.
Oh, sure.
By that
sure.
point.
Yeah.
We were too into cars and trucks and that type of thing. That's part of the reason why those trains disappeared from.
Sure.
some of us. So
Sure. I'm going to take a look.
Sure.
I didn't even look at it when you guys were talking. Oh, that looks. I love that they had like a full-on blueprint type.
Yeah, they'll get the seat height of how tall your seat is.
seat
and
is.
you got-
And that's the things that you wouldn't think. Oh yeah, you do kind of need to know how where it needs to be.
Mhm.
That's great.
Yeah, I thought the hole being 9 foot 8 inches deep was kind of a deep hole.
Kind of a deep hole. Yeah. But I don't know if, say, for a town that, in some cases the railroad predated the town, whereas here, obviously, Wahoo was here. But did Wahoo have regulations?
Right.
So did they have to conform to the Wahoo,
city code,
if you will?
Right.
That's probably somewhere. I imagine that there has to be
in the books,
or maybe not. I don't know. We have a whole bunch of another fun thing that we have a whole bunch of receipts from City Hall, and they're all liquor and pool hall licenses.
Oh, really?
And we're talking like 1870s, 1880s, and it was like $1,000 for 6 months.
Oh, wow!
Like a pool hall or billiard parlor or a liquor license.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, it was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
But most of that licensing fee was used to pay for the schools. That's how they funded their schools. But it's really fun to go through and see those. Oh, wow, $500, $200 or $1,000 or something like that. And
right.
It's like, yeah, okay. But it's really kind of it's interesting to try and see if I can figure out where they were located. But that's it's just so and so applied for a license and paid for it. So
okay. Well, and some of them probably didn't have addresses. Like, the streets probably weren't quite named at that time.
I'm not entirely sure about the naming, but addresses. Wahoo didn't get addresses until about 1919, 1920.
Okay.
And that was because they wanted to start mail delivery. And so the post office required that everything had an address. And so so about that time is when they started. So we were 1870 to 1920. That's a good chunk of time. So if you look at any old envelopes, it just says like Wahoo, Nebraska, or Colon, Nebraska, or all of that. But and then if you go through old newspapers, it'll say oh, well, these are unclaimed letters.
Oh.
So they would list and this one's addressed to Mrs. McLean, and this one's addressed to so-and-so. So you'd almost have to know that somebody was going to be writing you that you might have a letter
coming. Right.
Coming.
Yeah.
Or I'm also assuming there was probably a word of mouth,
Sure.
Probably, the neighbor would, Mrs. Oh yeah, I can take it to Mrs. Jones,
Right.
And they may have, or the postmaster or somebody worked at the post office. Hey, you've got a letter down there. You got a letter or something to that effect. So, yeah.
That's fascinating.
It is.
All these little tidbits.
Yeah.
The trivia. That's what I love.
Yes.
So.
I know. I love that. I was just thinking about the depot being at Family Dollar, just being like, okay, well, that was there, I just love learning about all these little different things. And in the paper being like, oh, I have a letter.
Hey, Kate, you got a letter. Get down there.
Yeah.
And interesting, there wasn't a whole lot. I mean, usually it's only like 2 or 3 letters. There wasn't a lot of people. So, and surely a lot more mail came through.
Sure.
So somehow my guess is that it came on the train, whichever train it came on, and people knew, oh well, the mail is coming on the 9 o'clock train or the 5 o'clock train or whatever, and so they would go to the post office the next day, and the post office was in different locations too. That's an interesting story about where all the post offices were
really
in town. Oh yeah.
Huh.
So that could be a whole
other episode.
Yeah.
Well, now that we're having our chamber chat here, we're hoping to get a lot more of those little tidbits and kind of share some of that history of Wahoo with everybody.
Yeah. I think people enjoy it. So, well, thank you so much for doing this, letting us be at this RBR home office, and coming on for our first episode in the museum, coming from the museum.
Yes.
I feel like one of these days I want to do it at night and be like the night at the museum.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe during Halloween.
There you go. Go down to the collections. We could do one from the collections downstairs.
Yeah.
Well, see, you're not museum professionals, so nothing's going to happen. None of the secrets are going to happen. So.
Okay. It only happens to you guys after hours?
To the profession.
Okay. I'm sure you've heard some wild stories.
Can't give up the trade secret.
Well, thanks again, Erin. And thanks for listening or watching. And don't forget
to keep it local, friends.
This has been a Chamber Chat
with Kate
and Kat.
See you next time.